Alright guys, welcome back to Crunch Time, the show where you get the best NBA DFS picks each and every day. Today we have a nice 6-game slate here, joined as always with Chrissair DFS over here. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I think we have a Mike James day if he's starting, so you're probably excited about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm kind of frustrated. I'm getting a lot of captchas on FanDuel every time I go on the site, so
Really?
it's kind of annoying, but yeah.
Have you been entering too many contests?
I mean, if I just log onto the site, I get them. So annoying.
Yeah, I used to, I don't know. They're sometimes weird with them. Sometimes if I enter like the 150 entry tournaments, you enter like it enters like 100, and then like on 101 it asks for a captcha, then you have to put it in again. It's kind of bad.
Yeah, you have to do it. You have to do less, like 99, and then I used to do that when I was playing the lower stake stuff because I would max the 25-cent one, the 5-cent one, but I had to like spread it out with 3 different like blocks of entries.
Yeah, it's kind of bad. I don't know why they're so bad with the captchas.
It's like it's weird. Sometimes they have like 100 per day. Sometimes they have none per day. So I mean, now I'm just getting hit by all of them.
I think there was like a good stretch though, like the last 4 weeks or so, 4 or 5 weeks. It's been pretty clean. Like there's no captchas for me at least. Was that the case for you too?
Yeah, I mean, just like 2 days ago it started again. So it's very annoying.
Should we add some captchas? Like anytime you switch a filter, captcha. Anytime you hit build, captcha. Maybe like 5% through, captcha. Open the sidebar, captcha.
Might have to.
Give the crunchers the FanDuel experience. But yeah, welcome everyone to the show. It's Takedown Thursday, right, Chris? Or is that Takedown Tuesday? What's Thursday?
I don't know. I'm not good with the names.
I think we have one Takedown Tuesday. I think it was someone originally wanted Takedown Thursday, but then you said no, and then it became Takedown Tuesday, and then I think Thursday something else, but I'm not 100% sure which one we have for Thursday. But before we get into the success, let's see what we got here. We got Brent here. It says DFS Crunch Takedown Season, Chris LFG. I like that. We got Justin in here. What's up? Adrian in here says Garry out for the Pacers. Is that why we have the Compazzo? Or not Compazzo, sorry. Mike James?
Yeah, Kyrie's out.
Yeah. And KD is a lock cover boy today. That's also why, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got T Bane here. Says Facundo. He says they say rats do hunt dogs from time to time. Those New York rats, Chris. Have you seen those New York rats?
Yeah, I have. I mean, they aren't too big, at least the ones I've seen.
Apparently, there's like groups of people who get together in New York. They take out like dogs sometimes, and then they just go like hunting for rats at nighttime or something. Like they take it upon themselves, like some sort of community rat hunting effort. Like it's an actual thing. I don't know. Look it up on YouTube. I saw a documentary on it. Have you heard of that?
No, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, welcome to New York. Let's see, you got Hasty in here. What's up? We got BC in here, Chris. He says, what did I tell you about Goat Pazzo?
I mean, I ended up playing him on FanDuel, but I had a pretty bad team other than that. I made some mistakes, but yeah, he went off for 46 fantasy points, 19 points, 10 assists, 6 rebounds, 3 stocks. I mean, you could play him again today. He's playing once again.
Yeah, his post-game interviews, he's a humble guy. A team guy for sure. Sounds like a nice guy. But yeah, I like that. Goat Pazzo. Hasty says, Goat Pazzo, so nice. Even my wife likes his game. Adrian says, lots of value tonight. Chris, is that the case?
Yeah, so we have like Luka out, so we have Mavs guys, we have Kyrie out, obviously, so we have Nets like Shamet, Mike James, Tyler Johnson. Obviously depends on who starts. And then Pistons are resting guys, so we have Stewart, we have Killian Hayes, Adams is out, so we have Willie Hernan Gomez. So we have a lot of value here.
Yeah, Hernan Gomez is the GOAT. So we have some Nets guys, Chris. Are you going to say that today? Are we going to have the Nets guys counter?
I mean, for now, I think it's just mostly KD. Just depends on who they start at the guard. Like if they start TJ, probably TJ. If they start Mike James, probably Mike James.
Got it. We got Ronald Jones in here as well. What's up? Vian Jones says, feels good to be back on a winning streak. Let's keep it going. Hashtag winning. I like that. Hasty in here. Who else? David Korean here says, it's also JC's birthday today, Chris. John Cotter. You know that?
No, I didn't know that. Happy birthday to JC.
Happy birthday to John, our stonks guy. Solid guy for sure. He was here yesterday, actually. I wonder if he's in here today. But yeah, big shout out to John Cotter. Let's see. Hasty says, yeah, Hasty saw that documentary as well. Little rats catching dogs are crazy, though. Yeah. And we also have Steven Ellers in here. He says, howdy, fellas. What's up? Let's open up the success, Chris. I think you were the first post yesterday, playing some baseball, getting into baseball. I guess as the NBA season's kind of winding down. Is it winding down? I mean, we've got playoffs a bit, right?
Yeah, we still have like 3 months.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 to 3. I'm not sure exactly when the finals end, but I still have a lot of time.
Yeah. Yeah. You over here, DK, this is, I'm assuming, main slate, baseball, 340 to 600. So that's awesome. I don't know any of these guys. Maybe Altuve. I've seen him before. I think this guy, I've seen him before as well, but don't know them. Don't know their game. But basketball, know all these guys. So $1,500 here into $2,200. So that's pretty good. Solid stuff there. No FanDuel out of you. Just getting your contest links. So
yeah, I didn't play the optimal on FanDuel, and it kind of cost me. So I thought Pritchard would end up starting, and of course, 1 minute after the slate locks, we get their starting lineup, and Tremont Waters is starting. So I had to swap to some ugly things. The original lineup without Pritchard, the optimal, it had Gary Harris, who went like 11x. So yeah, that was kind of frustrating. But yeah, that happens sometimes.
Yeah. T-Bay over here, he's going off. He says, Russell Westbrook has such a big nose. If Russ was swimming on the beach, people would scream shark. And it would just be Russ doing breaststrokes under the water if his nose sticking out. I think that's backstroke, not breaststroke.
Yeah.
Can you imagine doing a breaststroke with your nose sticking out?
Why does he hate Russell Westbrook so much? I don't get it.
Also, I think T-Bay is also like a closet Arthur fan, because that's like the intro of Arthur, Mr. Ratburn swimming in the water with his nose. So T-Bay knows his Arthur there. But yeah, why does he hate him? You don't know?
Selfish, I guess. I don't know. That's what Thomas says.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. Royal King in here as well. David Chrissair says about the New York thing, they actually have competitions where dogs go out and kill rats. They call them ratters. Yeah, I think it's something like that. Like, I don't know. I don't know if the rat hunting community there, if they compete, but yeah. If you're in New York, definitely look into joining that. Seems like a good group activity, community bonding experience. But yeah, Royal King also says Pritchard hurt him. Hasty says, sorry Pritchard didn't get the start. What happened there? Is someone called Waters, Chris?
Yeah, Tremont Waters. I mean, he's been on the team for a few years, so he's not a nobody, but yeah, he got the start for whatever reason. So I had to swap off Pritchard. So I mean, we'll get into that.
Yep. Yeah, so we went over that one. We got Deshaun here. This is a big one, 59 into 1,500. So that's awesome stuff. Is this red because of phone call or low battery? I think it's low battery. So he got the screenshot right on time. Probably like under 1% over here of battery. So dedication to the Crunch Squad is awesome. But yeah, I mean, this win is awesome too. $59, 1,500. That's pretty crazy. Second place here in the 15K pick and roll. So I wonder what first place is in this one. Do you know, Chris?
Probably like 1.5K. I don't know. Maybe 2K.
Yeah, but that's awesome. Also, single entry here, I'm guessing, in this 20 entry max. So yeah, $20, 371. So I'm sure this one I think this one's pretty high, first place here. So this was 20th place there, but I mean, still close. Over here, 8th place out of 1.9K. So $5.75, and then I think another dime here. So solid stuff out of Deshaun. Love to see that. Big win. I think we've had quite a few big wins already this April, like last 2 weeks of April. It's been a good stretch for the Crunchers playing tournaments. Awesome stuff. Also, there's like a limit of how many emojis you can add, Chris. It's kind of... You see this?
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, that's a big takedown. So it definitely deserves more emojis if they were possible.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they do it by server because I think NBA Top Shot, they have like rows and rows and rows of emojis.
Maybe
it depends on how many boosts you have. Like I think we're just a level 2 server over here, which I don't really understand how the boosting works. Like
actually, I don't see any more from Top Shot. Like I see the same amount. So I think that's the cap.
Really? Got it. Did you get the Top Shot today? Actually, there's like some sort of pre-order queue or something today, yesterday, 2 days ago.
No, I mean I don't really get the free pack. I call them free packs because everyone gets them. Yeah, I don't really get those anymore.
Yeah, probably the way to go. Yeah, good win from Deshaun over there. Snow up next has scared to post his stuff after the monster takedown by Deshaun. 82 into 225, so that's no joke either over here. Solid stuff as well from Snow. T-Bay, how does he keep doing it, Chris? He just keeps winning. Like, that's
yeah,
crazy.
I mean he's an optimal one robot. So I mean, I wish I played this lineup. This was the optimal originally. Obviously, I went to the Pritchard lineup. Ended up costing me because obviously Gary Harris locked right away, so I couldn't get back to him. But yeah, this one did very well. I wish I played this one.
Yeah. We got Rajon Rondo in here, Chris. He says, what does he say? He says this. What does he say? He says, speaking of value, how about Rondo getting 8x while CP3 got 6x? Like I mentioned before, give Rondo the same minutes as CP3 and he goes 10x plus. Is Rondo just not as durable as Chris Paul?
Probably. But I mean, yeah, both of these are really good scores. Like 8x for Rondo, 6.5x for CP3 at 8K. That's pretty insane as well.
Yeah. I mean, the battle here, CP3 obviously took home the dub here. So maybe next time for Rondo. But I think, who did they sign? They got Yogi Ferrell. So maybe next time the clip show can take out the dub from Phoenix with Yogi there. They just saw enough out of Rondo.
Rondo's a good player. So I don't know. Like,
yeah, I'm joking.
Yeah, I mean, don't want to talk down on him too much. He's a good player.
I know. No, I like Rondo. I'm just joking. Just because Rajon Rondo here gets so heated. So, like, I made it easy for you to see the value. I made it bright red, top right. That's funny. But yeah, Hasty saying, did Waters have a game, Chris?
I don't know. I was watching the first quarter, second quarter. He was playing very well. Let's see what he actually finished with.
You want me to pull it up, or are you gonna get it?
I just want to see the box score real quick. So he played 24 minutes, 6 points, 1 rebound, 6 assists, 2 steals, 3 turnovers. So yeah, not too good. I think Neesmith was the guy that he was the sneaky value guy from their team that went off. I think he had like 50 fantasy points. He had 6 stocks. So yeah, Aaron Neesmith was the guy yesterday.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Hasty says Waters super nice at LSU. Chris T-Bay says Rondo can't sniff CP3. That's enough. Can't even be in the same room as CP. Chris Paul is miles better.
Rondo has 2 rings.
And then Dinda here says the original rat Mike. How do you say this guy's name? Krzyzewski, Duke coach. How do you say his last name, Chris?
They call him Coach K.
Yeah, Coach K. He's the original rat, though, is what Dinda says. T-Bay says Rondo may try to sniff him out, but all he will end up smelling is his own scent.
Rondo has 2 rings. CP3 has 0 rings. So you gotta put some weight into that. But also Dinda's in here, so let's go to the off-topic channel because he posted some cool stuff in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he said, "Hey Steve, thank you so much for the video. I'm a lifetime Wilt fan. Attached for some cool things for my basement: a 1960 doo-wop 45 record, the first and only copy of a magazine he started that only survived one issue, and the box score of his 100-point game at Hershey, Pennsylvania, I think."
Yeah, this video is pretty cool, actually. Kind of crazy.
I like this stuff more. This stuff's cool.
Yeah, this is cool. Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is kind of cool. Dennis got a lot of cool stuff laying around his household. Like, I saw his Converse as well. He had like a nice Converse, retro Converse collection. I love Converse. My favorite shoe, go-to shoe, classics. Yeah, he's got a nice collection of stuff there, accumulated over the years. Yeah, this box score is actually pretty cool as well. Like, you see this pace here, Chris? It's like 42.
It's like open original. Make it bigger, and then zoom in. Yeah, so I was looking, like, Wilt shot 63 times. Scroll up. Shot 63 times, but he also had two teammates who shot 10 plus times. So I mean, yeah, they scored 170 points. New York scored 150.
The pace.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, New York here as well. They had
More shots.
3 guys shoot over 20 times. So I mean, obviously I didn't watch basketball in 1962, so I don't really know why it was so high scoring. This game didn't go into OT. But I guess the pace was just faster.
I mean, look at the score. 169, 147.
Yeah, he averaged 50 points that season, I think it says right above. So, yeah, scroll down a little more. It shows his quarter breakdown. So he shot 14 in the first quarter, 12 second quarter, 16 in the third quarter, and 21 shots in the fourth quarter. So that's insane.
But I mean, look at this. 12, 12, 12, 12. Played the full game. No rest.
I think he always did.
That's insane. Wait, so this guy played the whole game for his how many seasons? Like his whole career almost?
Pull up the basketball reference. I'm not sure.
Okay, let me see. Let me get the link here. Yeah, that's crazy. Minutes per game. How many seasons is this?
Your camera's blocking it, so scroll down a little.
16 seasons. And then, yeah, like, geez. Can you imagine? Whole game for 16 seasons, Chris? No rest at all. It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, you could see at the end of his career, he was still playing a ton of minutes, but he wasn't shooting nearly as much. I'm not sure why that is. I guess maybe on the Lakers, that's when the Lakers were becoming good. That's what I would guess, but I have no idea. But he averaged, look at 1961-62, he averaged 48.5 minutes per game. I don't even know how that's possible. Were quarters longer or something?
I also saw that. I'm not sure. I mean, all these...
Or I guess maybe he just played every game, the entire game, and someone into OT if the quarters weren't longer. I have no idea.
Yeah, I guess so, but yeah. I mean, this is insane. Like, that's crazy. And it's a lot of seasons too. What did I say? 17?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, that's awesome. This is crazy. But yeah, the thing that surprised me here was just like the overall scoring, the pace here. Like 31 points on the other team, 39, 33. Like that's a crazy ass pace.
Yeah, that's why I hate the rankings. Like, people rank all these different players from different generations. It just makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
People say, "Oh, LeBron is worse than this guy," or "This guy's better than LeBron." I mean, it's an entirely different game. It's like, I don't know, cool.
Yeah, Justin said I'm fired until I can say Coach K's name correctly. I don't think anyone in the world who knows Coach K knows how to say his name.
I don't remember how to say it exactly. But it's like something Shevsky. I don't. It's like Pokashevsky. That's the end of it.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't remember the beginning for some reason.
Yeah, so Justin's a little harsh here. Let's see what else we got though.
Let's pull him up on Basketball Reference so we can learn how to pronounce his last name.
Duke coach.
Krzyzewski. That's what I'll say. Krzyzewski. Go to Basketball Reference.
Wait, the spelling I got was also different. Was it? I got Kryshew.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they have it there. Let's see. Try to type in Basketball Reference.
Shevsky?
Shashevsky. I think that's it. Shashevsky. I think I got it.
Shevsky.
Mike Krzyzewski. Yeah, that's right.
There you go. So we have that done. What else? Hasty says he is the biggest rat of all time, even has a ratty little face.
Yeah, Hasty hates Duke, so that's why we got that.
Hasty also says Rondo's a ring chaser at this point. Sorry, Jean Rondo. Then Rondo says he's the opposite of a ring chaser. He literally signed with the Atlanta Hawks.
That was a money chasing move.
We got Solo in here as well. Hasty in here. We got Solo's asking, what did Okoro do last night, Chris?
Okoro did well, so yeah, I think it was him that was mentioning him. But yeah, Okoro played well. I think he got like 30 plus fantasy points.
Yeah. And yeah, Dinda is Little Biscuit, Rondo. T-Bay saying white Vans over white Converse. Don't at me. Definitely not, but all right. King says, imagine DFS was out during that era.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine because I don't know any of the guys, but I mean, it would be crazy because the pace seemed insane.
And then T-Bay here says, Christ, Wilt Chamberlain is actually such a selfish basketball player. Takes all the shots and glory from the team. Reminds me of Russell Westbrook.
I mean, pull up that box score. He had two other teammates who shot 20 plus times, so that's
we already
that's
had
pretty
it.
crazy.
Yeah. T-Bay says Bill Russell over Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah, I mean, T-Bay, he's an old timer, so we both know he's definitely watched both of those guys.
T-Bay 63 shot attempts. That's not impressive at all. Horrible basketball, if you ask me. Yeah, Hasty saw his free throw percentage. I think he was like 28 for 31 or 32, which is really nice for a big man. I agree with that one. I saw that too. Let's see. Adrian says Jerome or Hardaway for value, Chris.
Hardaway for sure.
DC says Shashevsky.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yes. And then O-World says KD might get injured before halftime.
Nah.
Yep. And then Justin's, we got it right now. So Justin's a happy guy now that we got Coach K's name right. I'm still going to say Coach K, though. Everyone says Coach K. But let's keep going, Chris. 144, 288 from Dakota here. NBA stuff, solid stuff. Baseball action, 101 to 202. Dakota as well. Turn and burn. Some baseball action here, 222, 500. And then a lot of double ups here. So solid stuff there. We got Austin here, NBA FanDuel, $70, 16 entries into 130. And then on DK, I'm guessing this was a tournament entry, $67 here. Solid stuff out of Austin. Aiden here, what did he do? Baseball main slate, NBA single slate, NBA single slate, NBA turbo slate, and then FanDuel single slate as well. So solid stuff out of Aiden. Let's click all these. Austin draft day beer. What did he do here? Is it? Oh yeah, are you excited for draft day, Chris?
No, I really couldn't care less.
Yeah, me too. I don't know anything there.
No, I'm just kidding. I like NBA drafts. I obviously don't enjoy NFL as much as I enjoy NBA, but I like watching the actual games. So I'm not really too into the draft for NFL though. I like NBA a lot though.
Yep. But yeah, solid stuff from Austin. Now you can get his beer. $18. Not sure what the entry fee on this one was, but maybe it was like $1 tournament or something like that. But yeah, shout out to Austin. Then we have Nick here, early slate. Let me add at least one emoji here. Knowledge. 51 into 92. So this was today, baseball action. Solid stuff there. It's awesome. And then before we get into, we got to go over your results, Chris. So I guess I'll pull up your post here. But Hasty here says, T-Bay, white fans only beat white chucks if you're a 12-year-old girl. Just saying. 100% I agree with that.
Yeah, we have to say Hasty's a substitute teacher, so
exactly.
He definitely he knows what he's talking about when he says that. He sees the 12-year-old girls rocking the white Vans.
Exactly.
So yeah, he knows what he's talking about there. Thomas might have to take the L here.
Definitely has to take the L, and it's not a question of whether or not he does or doesn't. But yeah, he sees all the kids, different schools, different age groups. Like, he sees it all. So he knows the hair, he knows the shoes. So I mean, he's got the data on this. You can't lie when you have data. So Hasty's got the evidence there. Case closed. Let's do DK though, Chris. 1,500 here, 22. So you won here. Took the L on FanDuel. What was different here on DK for you?
Yeah, so I had Tatum here. I think there was a 2v2 that I was deciding between. Austin showed his lineup. It had Westbrook and Thad Young instead of Tatum and Ingles, who I had. I wanted Ingles a lot. I love Tatum as well in this spot. So because I thought my team was off from the start of FanDuel. I had Terry Rozier. He had an awful start. I think he had 4 points in the first half. I kind of used Tatum as leverage here. So I didn't end up playing him on FanDuel just because I knew he was going to be very chalky. He ended up being 80%. He went for 56. I went with Zion instead. And then Zion obviously didn't have a good game. Tatum did. So I had low-owned Tatum on DraftKings. Tatum was high-owned on FanDuel. So at that point, with Rozier playing so poorly, I was happy with breaking even. So I kind of like breaking even across both sites. So I used Tatum as my leverage guy. If he played well, I would win DraftKings. If he played poorly, I would win FanDuel. So that's what I did after I saw Rozier have that poor start. Obviously, he played well. I won DraftKings here. That was really the big decision for me here. The frustrating thing was the Utah-Sacramento game blowing out. So Ingles didn't get much run, only 26 fantasy points. I think he played like 20-something minutes. So obviously he didn't get his full run. It was a 50-point game over there. So yeah, that was the main decision I had yesterday, the Tatum thing.
Yeah, hedging your risks here, Chris. JC probably knows about this with his trading portfolio. Probably has the similar strategies as you, but that's a good strategy here. Sort of leveraging one site for the other, sort of like insurance, I guess, in a way. But yeah, that's awesome.
I had to do it yesterday.
Yeah, good strategy. Advanced bankroll management out of Chris right here. Do you want to go over anyone else here on DK?
We can see what McLovin did. We usually like to see that. So he had Dean Wade, he had Devontae Graham, and Metu. So Metu actually got the start yesterday, so some people swapped to him. I stayed with Terrence Davis. Metu ended up winning by a little bit. But yeah, this team is solid as well. Dean Wade had the poor game. I had him in my core originally, but then I took him out once we got, I don't remember, one of our value guys. I exchanged them. So that's what I did.
Yeah. T-Bay says, off topic, I really feel like Zion could be averaging more rebounds. Highly disappointed to say at the least. 7-point rebounds a game. Come on now. And he could at least average 1 block a game. Shaking my head. Kind of with him on that one. Kind of would put like at least 10 rebounds a game on him. And yeah, at least 1 block a game as well. Are these real stats?
I don't know what he exactly averages. Yeah, 26.5, 7 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 0.62 blocks. Yeah, so it's kind of surprising he's not like a big block guy, but I think he does have short, stocky arms, or at least it just looks like that. But yeah, he's a beast anyways.
Yeah. Hasty says Zion seems to be figuring it out. He needs to get better on the defensive boards. Pels have really good rebounding guards, which hurts him some nights.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, I agree with that.
Yep. And then T-Bay says, also love how the Kings lost by 50 last night. Extremely embarrassing. I would have gone to the Kings front office and slapped Luke Walton right in the face after that embarrassing game.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to be fired soon.
Yeah. We need to get T-Bay like an NBA team so he could be like the GM, and then he could start like a YouTube series on it documenting all of his activity there. That'd be gold. But yeah, FanDuel, Chris, you lost here. Kind of went over it when you were talking about Chalky Tatum. You want to just touch up on FanDuel again quickly?
Yeah, so actually, like if I just went Tatum here instead of Zion, Tatum was $200 less. I would have ended up cashing, so that was kind of the frustrating part. But I like the idea that I had using him as leverage, using Zion here, because obviously Zion has a ton of upside. Tatum, I think he had a slow start actually because Brown was just doing everything. I think Jalen Brown had 30 fantasy points in the first quarter, and that game looked like it was going to be a blowout. So I was kind of happy with my strategy at that point. But yeah, then Tatum just went crazy. I think he got 55 here on FanDuel. Um, but yeah, like I said, kind of was happy with breaking even across both sites after we got or after I saw Terry Rozier have the awful start yesterday.
Okay. Should we go over anything else here, Chris?
Let's see what McLovin did.
There you go.
So yeah, so Dean Wade here once again. So obviously his projections were high on Dean Wade. Also Devonte Graham. He had Devonte Graham on DraftKings as well. And yeah, same small forwards. Uh, Point guards, he was higher on Russ, I guess. Dame, our projections were all over him yesterday. Obviously, that game blew out. Um, that didn't help me much because, I mean, the rest of my lineup kind of sucked. But yeah, like I said, could we find a team with Tatum? I think he went for 56. Just click on any random team. Yeah, right there.
Oh, this had it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So 56. So he had 30 points more than Zion. So, I mean, if I went with Tatum here, I would have had what? Scroll up. Let's see my score. I would have had 311, and that would have, where would that put me? 311.
I don't think you'd cash. Oh, yeah, you
So
would.
I would be right there. So, yeah, I mean, happens, but yeah, I'll take it. I liked my strategy.
Yep. Let's get into the slate. Let's wrap up these comments for now. Let's see what else we got. Sean says, "What's up, y'all? Finally here. The NFL draft had a brother running around. Is it on right now? Is it over?"
I don't know, but shout out to Deshaun for that takedown yesterday.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good stuff there. Hasty says, yeah. Let's see. So he says it's Hasty's turn to take something down tonight. That's what Deshaun says.
Yeah.
Hasty's going to wait until college basketball, I think, to play DFS again, right?
Probably.
Yeah, he was a beast at that. Let's see. Deshaun says, appreciate it, but I got to give all the credit to AD, Lonzo, and Graham. They were the MVPs for me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Class act. Hasty says NFL draft is multiple days. Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
But I mean, I think most people only care about the first round and maybe the second round, but probably mostly the first round.
Got it. Okay. So yeah, six games here tonight, Chris. 12 teams to pick from. I know we have some favorites already in Brooklyn. Anywhere else tonight that you have some solid options for DFS?
Yeah, I already went over it earlier, but I'll do it again. So we have no Luka, so lots of interest in the Mavericks, like Hardaway, Brunson, KP on both sites. I like those guys. Nets, once again, with no Kyrie, so KD is a lock on both sides, and then we'll have to see who they end up starting. No Steven Adams for the Pelicans, so we like Hernan Gomez once again. Warriors in a great matchup against the Timberwolves, so we have interest in that game. Curry, Towns, looking like really good spend-ups on this slate. And we have Jokic once again, so I like this slate a lot. I think we have a lot of spots that we know we'd like to target.
Yeah, and that Curry Towns one, that was your blockbuster trade in our season log fantasy. Towns, you gave away Towns for Curry, plus another piece on both sides, but that's interesting. Yeah, let's get into it, Chris. First game up, it is the Nets game. So we have the Nets against the Pacers. Going over Brooklyn first, so we have Kyrie out, so that's why you love the Nets today. Claxton out, Chioza out, Bruce Brown out, and then Elijah Johnson marked as in. Projected starters, Tyler Johnson, Shamet, Joe Harris, Katie, and Jeff Green. So yeah, we also had some talk about Mike James here, Chris, on the Nets. Are we just going to wait for the starters here and then sort of decide what other pieces we like alongside KD tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to start him. They played him in crunch time last game alongside Kyrie. He was just doing everything for them. They were feeding him the ball. He was playing very well, so I think they're going to start him here. I don't think it's going to be like a Pritchard situation. But the good thing is it's the first game of the slate, so we are going to know. If he doesn't start, I'll still have some interest in him, probably more so in tournaments. I would assume that they're going to start Tyler Johnson if they don't start Mike James, so I would have more interest in Tyler Johnson. But yeah, it really depends on who they end up starting at the guard positions. And then, yeah, obviously KD, he's the main guy here. He's on the cover. He's my lock in both formats. I think everyone's going to play him. He's 9.3K on FanDuel, 8.5 on DraftKings. We get this matchup against the Pacers that we love targeting. I feel like I keep saying it. They've been just playing awful defense ever since Miles Turner has gone out. The Nets here are implied to score 123. This is the highest over-under on the entire slate at 241.5 for the game. We have a tight-ish spread here, 5 points favoring the Nets. So I like this game environment a lot. KD's obviously the main guy for me. He's the easy lock. I think he's a free square on both sites, both formats. I think you got to play him. And then, like I said, the rest really depends on the starter, who ends up starting for Kyrie. That guy's probably going to be a great play in cash games. And then even like Shamit, I think Shamit's also in play. He's 4.1K on FanDuel. I kind of like that price tag on DraftKings. He's 4-1 as well. So I don't mind Shamit today. Joe Harris, same sort of thing. Jeff Green, same thing. Just a really good spot for the Nets.
Yep. Like I've been saying, Chris, Mike James, he's been a beast in the EuroLeague, so he's definitely in tip-top shape for the NBA, ready to ball out. So I like the guy. His highlights there are pretty solid. Let's go over the Pacers. So over there we have Sabonis still out with the back. Jeremy Lamb questionable. Bitatse questionable. Projected starters: Brogdon, Sumner, LeVert, Brissett, and Bitatse. Yeah, anything on this other side, Chris, that you like? I know Broggy has been of interest lately, but I think did he have a down game last time out? Yeah, I think he did. So is he still someone that we're interested in on the Pacers despite the previous down game?
I mean, yeah, he's a really good play. It's just we're kind of loaded with value at point guard now with Kyrie out. One of these guys from the Nets are going to be insane value, Mike James or Tyler Johnson. So it's kind of that makes it a little difficult to get to Brogdon here. We also have Curry up top against the Timberwolves. We love that game. So I'd rather just spend up to Curry. But I do love Brogdon here in tournaments. We love the matchup against the Nets. As always, Brogdon is 8.5K on FanDuel, 9K on DK. Probably going to go a little under-owned. Like we've been saying, he's just been playing out of his mind ever since Sabonis has gone out. Last game was a blowout. The game before was also a blowout. But in close games, he always seems to get 45 plus with upside for 60. He's gone for 60, I think, 3 times in the past month or so. So he does have that upside. He has the minutes upside as well if the game stays close. Their coach does like to run their guys a lot. So I like Brogdon. LeVert, same thing. Revenge game here against Brooklyn. So I like him in tournaments as well. O'Shea Brissett, probably a little too expensive for me. If you want to play him, I think he's viable on DraftKings for 5.3K. I think he's 6'8 on FanDuel, so that's way too expensive now. He got a lot of his production in garbage time last game, so if you're looking at the game log, it can be misleading there. But I don't know. That also depends on if Goga plays or not. He's currently questionable. Jeremy Lamb is questionable as well. So if they're both out, I think Brissett will be viable on DraftKings. Jakar Sampson will probably be viable once again. Probably on FanDuel where he's 3.8. DraftKings kind of priced Jakar up a little bit. But we'll have to kind of wait and see. We have a lot of value already on this slate, so I don't think these guys will be too necessary in FanDuel. I mean, in cash games, sorry.
Yeah. There's a narrative you missed, Chris, in this game.
Is it LeVert? Because I said LeVert.
Oh, did you? My bad. Sorry. I'm always like preparing for the next game opening, the other things. So sometimes I zone out a bit to do that stuff, and also reading the chat. So that's why. It's not because I don't care. So yeah, we have that narrative. You mentioned it. Vian Jones says, Chris, I'm going to post a balcony pic in the Discord to entice you to do a show from South Florida.
Let's see it. I want to see that. Yeah. Post that right now. Let's get it.
Yeah, that'd be a nice picture. Sean says, go Cowboys, please let Kyle Pitts fall to us. Jones says, keep dreaming.
Is that the Gator? Kyle Pitts. Is that the Florida quarterback? Or is that a tight end? I don't know who this guy is.
Yeah.
Oh, he is Florida, though. So, yeah.
David says, and this isn't David. It's not David Korea, not DC. Different David. He says, who do you think we should pay up for with so much value tonight, Chris?
KD, Curry, KP, Cat. We have a bunch of spend ups here on this slate, so we'll get into all of them. My favorite is obviously going to be Kevin Durant. We also have Jokic on this slate. If I had to rank them, I would say KD 1, Curry 2 most likely, and then after that, it kind of depends on who you want to play. But KD is my favorite, and then Curry is my second favorite.
Okay. Next game up, Dallas Mavericks, Detroit Pistons. So we'll do Dallas first. Over here we have Doncic, doubtful. Dorian Finney-Smith, doubtful. We have Kleba marked as in, and then Zingis, Richardson, and JJ Redick all marked as probable, leaving us with the projected starters of Brunson, Burke, Richardson, Kleba, and Zingis. So I guess, yeah, Luka and Dorian Finney-Smith, Chris, doubtful tags. Usually treat that as out. What's the best value here on the Mavs tonight?
Let me send you these pictures first, and then we can get into the Mavericks.
How do I?
You just click on it, and then click Open Original.
Let's see.
Yeah, so this is where VN Jones watches all the time from his balcony here, yacht watching, and I mean he probably sees like DJ Khaled on the jet skis here. Who else goes on the jet skis? D Wade probably. Union, Gabrielle Union.
Who?
What? Gabrielle Union, D Wade. It's probably D Wade's house across the water there. So he probably sees DJ Khaled. That's the guy he probably sees.
That's a nice view. I'm not gonna lie, that is nice. Yeah, that's really nice. If they got rid of this fence here, it'd be nicer. If there was like something smaller, I don't know. Looks temporary, but that was a nice view.
Just the binoculars there.
Yeah,
spying on D Wade in his backyard.
That's how he gets like the DFS picks. D Wade probably has like he's probably got like the injury report from Miami Heat earlier. Sees the list.
Zoom into one of those houses. Yeah, so I mean those are expensive. Those are nice houses there.
Yeah, this is nice. Definitely enticing. No, Chris?
Yep.
But yeah, Mavs, Chris. Who do you like here with all... Well, I guess it's just Luka being out here and Dorian Finney-Smith. So I guess what's the best way to approach the Mavs tonight?
Yeah, so I mean that's a pretty big name in Luka. That's their high usage guy. So we do have a lot of interest in these guys. Tim Hardaway Jr. He's probably I think he benefits a lot here. He's very cheap on both sides. He's 4.2 on FanDuel. DraftKings he's 4.7. So I think he's a really good play. He kind of found his shooting stroke last game against the Warriors. That game blew out, so he only played 18 minutes. But he was playing very well. 24 fantasy points. Even if he doesn't start here, I'm still fine with him. I think he's going to get a lot of usage off the bench. Maybe I'll even prefer it a little bit. But I do think they will start him. Obviously, we'll have to wait and see. But I won't mind it either way. And then Brunson, he's the guy that usually starts here. He always benefits from Luka being out. Brunson is 4.7K on FanDuel, 4.5 on DK. So he's a super solid play. Kind of prefer him a little more on DraftKings just because FanDuel has him at shooting guard. A little more expensive on FanDuel as well. So a little harder to get to him, but he's a great play. Probably going to be one of the top point per dollar plays on the entire slate. So I like him a lot. And then the big spend up here from this team is Kristaps Porzingis. He is in play for me on FanDuel where he's 7.6K. DraftKings has him at 8.7, so I think that's more of a tournament option over there. But I do think he's very interesting here. We've seen him last year, I think, crush. I think he had like a stretch of 6 or 7 games without Luka where he was consistently getting 50 plus. So yeah, I love KP here. we have a matchup against Detroit, so it's not a tough matchup at all. I have no blowout concerns here, so yeah, I have a lot of interest in their main guys here.
Okay. Let's go over some chat here. So if I miss anything, just say it again. But Gerson says, have you also have the Wiggins, Minnesota, and D-Rusk Golden State narratives tonight, Chris?
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. I guess we can go over those. But any favorite narratives so far for you?
No, I don't really have anything that I want to go out of my way to get, but I do like those two that that guy just mentioned with D'Lo and Wiggins.
We got Bitatse out for Indiana, Chris. Same as Lamb, because I think we have Bitatse as the projected starter.
Yeah, so I mean, they're probably just going to start Jakar here. Like I said, he's probably viable on FanDuel, but we don't really love Jakar. We have good plays at power forward anyways, like Isaiah Stewart, Kristaps Porzingis on FanDuel already, so I don't think it's too necessary.
Yep. Yeah, Hasty's asking about Brunson. Went over that. Jones on the seawall. He says, doing work on the seawall. Fence should be done by July. So it should be even nicer views soon. That's awesome. Let's see. Sean says, Hardaway or Brunson? I know what Chris is going to say.
I'll say Brunson, but he would probably expect me to say Hardaway, but I'll say Brunson. It's just a little harder to get to him, but I like him a lot more.
Yeah. Jones says, hate playing Timothy Hardaway Jr., rather play Brunson.
Yeah, I mean, Hardaway Jr. is scoring dependent, so that's the problem. But, I mean, he's in a great spot here. His price tag is way too cheap on FanDuel, so I like him a lot, but I like Brunson a lot as well. I mean, you could pair them together. It's pretty easy to do here.
Yeah, Hardaway Jr. not as good as his daddy, like Hasty said. UTEP, the UTEP two-step Hardaway Jr., or not Jr., just Tim Hardaway. I watched his highlights after that. He's a beast. Nice crossover. I mean, he just has he kept doing the same crossover, but he's just so good at it. It's so nice. Like, it just works all the time. It's kind of unreal. He just baits everyone and then just goes the other way. It's actually insane if you watch it. Just driving to the hoop, he doesn't need any space. Does a crossover, defender bites, goes the other way. It's insane.
You think Kawhi could stop him?
No. Well, I mean, just like any move, though, I don't think it works every single time, but I don't think he'd stop it every time either. It's definitely a nice move, though. Let's see. David says, would Brunson still be in play if he doesn't start, Chris?
I mean, I think they're going to start him, but if he doesn't start, they're probably going to start Trey Burke, who would just become a lock, I think. Brunson would still be in play, but obviously not as good of a play.
Okay. And then last one here, Hasty says, love Brunson, tough like his daddy was.
I didn't even know he had an NBA dad.
Yeah, me too. So it should be Brunson Jr. Add that to the list. Let's go over the Pistons, Chris. So I know the Pistons are kind of ugly end of the season here so far, but Mason Plumlee out, Dennis Smith Jr. out, Kojo out, Wayne Ellington out, Grant out, Magruder out, Josh Jackson marked as in. So you call Jeremy Grant a vet here for Detroit, even though he's only 27 years old. Resting all their guys end of the season here. Projected starters: Hayes, Jackson, Sadiq Bey, Doumbouya, and Stewart. So I know you always say this about Detroit. You like to play, or you have more interest in them when they rest their vets, which is what I said. So that seems to be the case today. So is there anything on this slate that you would take advantage of here?
Yeah, so I think they're more interesting to me on FanDuel, where they're not priced as high. I think in the past we've had them more interesting on DraftKings, but today we have a lot of value on DK. We can fit more Mavericks guys in. We can fit more Nets guys in. We can play guys like Bazemore, Hernan Gomez in two positions. So it's harder to get to these Pistons on DraftKings, but I think on FanDuel they're definitely viable. We have Isaiah Stewart for 5.9K. I think he's a really solid play. We've seen him crush in games that Plumlee sits, so this is obviously one of those games. If he gets 30-plus minutes, he has all the upside in the world. He gets you stocks, he gets you a bunch of rebounds, easy points. So I like Isaiah Stewart a lot for 5.9K. I think he's a solid option in cash games, tournaments as well. I think he does have upside. And then Josh Jackson, he's probably the tournament guy for me, but it's a little hard to get to him at shooting guard, where we have other guys here like Tim Hardaway Jr., Nets like Shamit, Mike James, Tyler Johnson, all these guys at the guard position. Makes it a little harder to get to these guards. The one guy I'd be interested in is probably Killian Hayes if he does end up starting, which I project him to. He's 3.9 on FanDuel, DraftKings 4.4. So price tag is better on FanDuel, just like the rest of them. It's kind of like a 1v1 right now between Killian Hayes and Mike James. If Mike James comes off the bench, I'll probably go with Killian Hayes. But if Mike James starts, I'll probably go with Mike James. So I'm waiting for that news. I think Killian Hayes is a great play here on FanDuel for his price tag. He has a lot of upside as well, so I like him in tournaments. And I think he's pretty safe in cash games because he's likely to start here.
Okay. Let's see. Hasty says Hardaway was nice. So was Rod Strickland. Look him up next. Kyrie's godfather is what he says. I'll look him up. Vian Jones says, how do you like Frank Jackson tonight, Chris? He gets minutes when they sit the regulars.
I'm fine with him. I just kind of think he can be an exercise guy. That's the problem. Like I said, we have a lot of other value at the guard position, like these Mavericks, these Nets. So I don't think it's too necessary.
Okay. Let's move on to the next one. So we have Warriors against the T-Wolves. Golden State first. We got Damian Lee out, Eric Pascal out, Kelly Oubre Jr. doubtful, and then Kent Bazemore marked as starting. Projected starters, Curry, Bazemore, Wiggins, Green, and Kevon Looney. So, this Kelly Oubre doubtful tag, Chris. Does that increase your interest in any of the Warriors guys, aside from maybe their main guy like Curry?
Yeah, it makes me super interested in Bazemore because Bazemore is back now. He's more in play for me on DK. He's 3.9K over there. We've seen him start in the past, I think, 6 or 7 games. He's been crushing, been getting a lot of minutes. So I love Bazemore on DraftKings. He's a lock there for me at 3.9K. FanDuel still has him at 5.3, so it's more of a decision. We have Kevin Porter Jr. for 300 more at small forward, who I'd rather get to. So I don't really think you need Kent Bazemore over on FanDuel in cash games especially. I think in tournaments he's pretty interesting. We have KD, who's a lock at small forward on FanDuel, so that also makes it a little more difficult to get to Bazemore, but I still think he's a solid play. But like I said, more interested on DraftKings for him. But the main guy here is going to be Steph Curry, who I'm going to play on both sites most likely. He's 10-3 on FanDuel, 10-3 on DK, 9-6 on FanDuel. We get this matchup against the Timberwolves. They don't play much defense. The Warriors are implied to score 119. So I'm not expecting any doubles or anything like that. They'll probably throw like Josh Okogie on Steph Curry, but I mean, I still think that this is just a great matchup for Steph. I think this is one of those spots where you can just go crazy. So yeah, I mean, we're not worried about a blowout here. Tight spread. Warriors are favored by 4. So that's the closest spread on the entire slate. Healthy over-under here at 234. So I like this entire team a lot, but we kind of know most of the production is going to come from Curry, so that's why he's my favorite guy. But if you want to play like Draymond Green, Wiggins, Jordan Poole maybe, I think they're viable in tournaments, but it's going to be Curry for me in cash games, and then Bazemore as well on DraftKings.
Got it. David here is asking about the Pacers news that we got with Bitatse and Lamb being out. Chris, he's saying, with those guys out for the Pacers, does it make O'Shea Brissett a good player? Do you prefer Jakar Sampson?
I mean, we talked about it on DK. I think, on FanDuel, O'Shea Brissett is 6.8K, so he's not in play over here on FanDuel. I think I like Jakar more. He's 3.9K, I think, maybe 3.8 on FanDuel, so I like him more on FanDuel. I think he's viable, but I'm not sure if we need him on this slate. He gets into quick foul trouble almost every game, so that's kind of frustrating if you're playing him. And then I like Brissett more on DraftKings, where he's 5.3K, I think. Yeah, 5.3 on DraftKings, so that's where I like Brissett if you want to play him.
Let's take a look at the fouls per 36 for this season, Chris. Let's see. Do we have Sampson up here? Yeah. It's not that high up there, but it's not too bad, is it? Where is it?
Sort it by fouls.
Although, remember last time this list wasn't working either. Like, he's not showing up now.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'll go back to the other one. Let's see, what's his number at? 6.3.
Yep.
Yeah, so that would put him at the top of the list, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't know why this doesn't work, but yeah.
So he probably doesn't meet the requirements, so he would be second if he was there.
Yeah, above Dwight Howard, so that kind of is quite telling.
I think that hit that checkbox above when table is sorted, hide non-qualifiers. Yeah, there it is. So Jakar Sampson is 19th here, but you have some small sample size guys here. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I like him on FanDuel where he's 3.8 or 3.9, but he's not like necessary here on this slate.
Yep. Let's see what else. Adrian says Jackson Hayes value play tonight versus the Raptors. Sorry,
Yeah,
says
I mean,
versus OKC.
yeah, he's fine, but they've been starting Hernan Gomez in the games that Steven Adams has missed. So 2 games ago against the Clippers, they started Hernan Gomez. He played 30 minutes. Jackson Hayes only played 17 minutes, so he didn't really get much of a bump. He was obviously splitting time, so like I said, Hernan Gomez got 30, Jackson Hayes got 18, so that's 48 minutes. So they were splitting the center minutes. But I think Hernan Gomez is going to get the majority of the minutes once again, unless Hayes is starting.
Okay. And then World King says he's interested in the single slate for this game, Chris. What else do we have? Jones says Jakar Sampson equals Tony Snell equals PJ Tucker equals I don't even play them on DK for the minimum 3K.
Yeah, well, Jakar's, I think he's 3.9 now on DraftKings, so you definitely don't need to play him.
Yeah. Let's see. Vian Jones says I'd play DJ Wilson in a narrative game tonight before I'd play Jakar Sampson.
Yeah, there's that narrative as well, and he'll get blowout run if he does. If it does blow out.
Yeah, let's go over Minnesota. So they're a completely healthy squad from what I see here, which is a rare occurrence in the NBA today. Projected starters, Rubio, Ant-Man, Kogi, Daniels, and Catman. So we got a narrative here with, well, I don't know if it's a strong narrative, but D'Angelo Russell used to be on the Warriors for a bit. Is that an interesting narrative, Chris, or not really?
Yeah, I'm fine with that narrative. But I don't know. I don't think I really need him here. I think the main guy that I'm interested in is going to be Karl Anthony Towns. I think it's a really good spot for him against the Warriors. I don't know who can stop him. Like, I don't think Looney can stop him. I don't think Juan Toscano Anderson will be able to stop him. So I love Cat here. He's 10-1 on DraftKings. On FanDuel, he is 9.7K. So really good price tag for him. I like Cat a lot here. He's one of my favorite spend ups on this slate. I think you can play him alongside 2 other studs just because we have a ton of value on this slate. So that's probably what I'm going to end up doing. So he's the main guy for me in cash games here. D'Lo and Ant, I think they're both viable in tournaments. Kind of prefer D'Lo because he's cheaper. We have the revenge narrative there as well. So yeah, I like D'Lo in tournaments a lot, and then Cat's my cash guy.
Okay. What was the trade for Russell, Chris?
It was Wiggins and a first round pick, I think, something like that.
So what do you think of the Wiggins narrative here?
I'm fine with it, but he's still Andrew Wiggins, and he's still also playing alongside Steph Curry. It's not like he's going to shoot 20 plus times like D'Lo has the potential to.
Yeah, I guess we also don't have. I guess it's more of a bump for Bazemore, but we don't have. Kelly Oubre. Yeah,
I mean he's in play. He's been playing well, 35 plus in 4 of his last 5 games, getting a lot of minutes. So I mean, I don't mind Andrew Wiggins here. The problem is he's kind of priced up. That's the only thing.
Okay. So I have a question on Houston here in this next game. So I'll do Houston first. But it's Bucks against the Rockets. Houston side, we got Brown, Nwaba, House, Bradley, Eric Gordon, and Augustine all out. Projected starters Kevin Porter Jr., Armani Brooks, Sean Tate, Kelly Olynyk, and Christian Wood. Question from Gerson, Chris, is Tate cash viable today?
No, I don't think you need Sean Tate here in cash games. He's a little expensive. He's 6'7" on FanDuel. DraftKings 6'1", so maybe a little bit more viable there. But I mean, we'll get into some of these builds later on in the show. There's just a ton of value that you can easily fit in stars and scrubs today. So I don't think you need to go in this mid range with like Tate for 6K. Playing a lot of minutes, so that's the upside with him. I like him for stocks. He's always been a good stocks guy. But there's only one guy here that really interests me, and it's on FanDuel. It's Kevin Porter Jr. for 5.6K. DraftKings has him at 7K, so I'm not interested there. But I think for 5.6 on FanDuel, he's nearly a lock in cash games. Just way too cheap for the role that he's going to have here without John Wall. He had a down game last time out, shot 2 for 12, but he still played 35 minutes. I think he got into some foul trouble as well. So we've seen him without John Wall play 40-plus minutes. He had a 50 fantasy point game as well. So, I mean, I love the upside with Kevin Porter Jr. He's going to be the main guy for me here on FanDuel. If you want to play Wood, you kind of have to hope the game stays close. I think he's interesting in tournaments. Same thing for Olynyk. Probably the same thing for Tate, just because he's priced up as well. So, yeah, it's mostly going to be Kevin Porter Jr. on FanDuel.
Game stays close. What's the spread here today?
13 points favoring the Bucks.
Okay. Jones says, wow, didn't have Cat in either of my two lineups tonight. Chris is heavy on him. May have to relook what I have. He has a question. So do you like Cat more than Jokic, Giannis, and KD?
I'll say KD 1. Jokic, I mean, it depends on the site. I know Van Jones is a DraftKings guy, so I'll say KD 1, Jokic 2, Cat 3, and then Giannis 4.
Okay. And then David is asking our thoughts on Mike James. I've kind of said it. He's been balling out in the EuroLeague, so he's ready to hoop. You said, I didn't watch the game they played last time, but you said he was feasting at the end of the game. He was in there during crunch time. So it seems like he's ready to play. Like I said, looked good in the EuroLeague, was like one of the leading scorers there. Very productive out there. But what do you think of Mike James, Chris?
Yeah, so wait, I think we might get the starting lineup here soon. But yeah, I love Mike James here, especially if he's starting. Just way too cheap. I expect him to start as well, so I like him a lot. And just to circle back to the Cat thing, I think Cat is just, I think he's viable. I think him and Jokic are probably tied for me in terms of rankings. Just, you probably have like a 2v2 because Cat is a little cheaper. So if you land on Jokic, if you land on Cat, it doesn't matter to me. I like both of them.
Yeah, and then Hasty says, Mike James, fearless and a chucker, three-time Drew League MVP, can get his own shot anytime. 100%. He's good.
Yeah.
He's a scorer.
We liked playing him a lot when he was on Phoenix because that's exactly what he did. He would chuck the ball. So Mike James is definitely a DFS guy. I mean, DFS guys love him.
Yep. Solo says Brima.
I think that guy's on Indiana. Didn't Solo say that last time as well? I just don't think he's necessary.
I'm not sure if he did, but let's go over Milwaukee, Chris. So we have Tupain out, DiVincenzo probable, Giannis probable. Projected starters, Drew Holiday, DiVincenzo, Chris Middleton, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Brook Lopez. Any interest here, Chris, on Milwaukee?
Not too much. Largest spread here, 13.5 points favoring the Bucks. Giannis is usually the guy I'm interested in here. If the game stays close, Giannis will crush, but I just don't think it's going to stay close. So yeah, that's why he's my least favorite stud on the slate, just because of the spread here. But if it stays close, he's going to crush the Rockets here for sure.
Okay, and then Solo's expanding on his thoughts on Brima. He's saying it's because Bitatse's out, Chris. So is that a reason to play Brima?
I mean, same situation last game. Brima only played 8 minutes. He only came in once they were down by like 30 points. So he only played blowout time. He only played 8 minutes last game. So just a no-go for me.
Yeah. Didn't hear with his riddles, Chris. He says, Mike James, reincarnation of Dylan Bricks, 2 ghost emojis.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Mike James can get you assists. Brooks is way more scoring reliant. That's the thing.
Brooks is probably also a better defender, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, Brooks is NBA size. Mike James is like EuroLeague size.
I mean, he's even small for EuroLeague. Yeah. Vian Jones says, I'm playing Mike James regardless. I think TJ will start, but Mike James equals Vinny Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think they'll start Mike James here. They were running him out at the end of the game, in closing time against the Raptors last time. So I think they're going to start Mike James.
Okay. Hasty says, how has Aaron Brooks been in Houston? He can get hot. Used to be a big chucker.
Yeah, Aaron Brooks is in Australia. He was playing with LaMelo Ball last season in Australia.
And then Solo says, Elijah Johnson revenge game, Chris.
uh, sure, but I mean, I don't think you need to go there. I think that's just a little too thin.
Yeah. Let's go over the next one, Chris. Pels against the Thunder. So New Orleans side, we got Nickeil Alexander-Walker being listed here. Should be back soon. Stevie Adams also out for the Pels. Projected starters Lonzo, Eric Bledsoe, B.I., Zion, and Willie Hernan Gomez. I think we've had some talk here on Hernan Gomez. Chris, Steven Adams out. What's your favorite play here on the Pelicans?
So yeah, it's going to be Hernan Gomez. He's the main guy that I'm interested in with Steven Adams out. I like the matchup against OKC. They don't play much defense. Pelicans here are implied to score 120, so I do think Hernan Gomez is in play on both sites. He's 4-1 on DK. FanDuel, they have him at 4-9, so he's more in play on DraftKings, obviously, but he's still a good play on FanDuel, I think. If you're not spending up for Cat or Jokic on FanDuel, I think you're going to go down to Hernan Gomez. But like I said, I kind of prefer spending up for Cat. But he's the main guy for me. Zion, if you want to play him, I don't mind that. I kind of prefer taking the savings and going down to Kristaps Porzingis with no Luka. I like Isaiah Stewart as well at power forward. So mostly it's going to be Willie Hernan Gomez here.
Okay. Let's see what we got here. Hasty says, oh, it was Armani Brooks, whose name I saw. Sorry, Chris. These old eyes.
Yeah, Armani Brooks. I mean, I kind of messed up on Saturday. I wanted to play him. I think I went away from another build that didn't have him, but I wanted to play him because everyone would be playing him. He was chalky. He ended up getting like 20 fantasy points. Played a lot of minutes though, so he's going to get a lot of minutes. But I don't know. I don't think he's too necessary here on a slate where we have a bunch of value with Nets guys and Mavericks guys.
Okay. David here. He says DK, GPP, Mike James, Kent Bazemore, O'Shea Brissett, Cat, Curry, KD, was this Willie Hernan Gomez, and whoever starts PG for Dallas. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I like it.
And then Solo says PJ Tucker revenge game, Chris.
No, I mean, just no. He's an exercise guy. Like he just runs corner to corner. He doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, I don't think he has much vengeance in him for anything. As long as he can get his exercise, he'll be happy. Hasty said, yeah, we got that one. Let's go over the other half. So Pelicans side, sorry, we did Pelicans. Thunder side, Oklahoma City, we got Mike Muscala out. Gabriel Deck is available. It says coach's decision, so maybe we'll see him play. Got his juicy contract. Projected starters, Maladin, Luguentz, Dort, Pokuševski, Baisley, and Moses. Who do you like here, Chris, on the Thunder?
Maybe Dort in tournaments, but that's about it. Yeah, I don't want to play the Thunder here today on a slate where we have a ton of value.
Okay, that was kind of fast. Didn't have a chance to load the next game, so I'll do that now. Next up, Toronto against the Denver Nuggets. Let's go over Toronto first. We got Fred VanVleet out, Trent Jr. out, Chris Boucher out, Paul Watson out, Jalen Harris marked as in. Projected starters, Kalo, DeAndre Bembry, OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam, and Kem Birch. Anything here, Chris, on the Raptors facing Denver?
So I think Kyle Lowry is interesting with VanVleet out. He's 6.4K on FanDuel. On DraftKings, he's 7-1, so a little too expensive on DK. But I think on FanDuel and tournaments, I don't mind that price tag. I don't really love the Raptors here. Pretty low total against the Nuggets at 107. This is the second lowest over-under game. Only news that we have is VanVleet out, so I don't know. I'm not too interested in the Raptors here. If you want to play one, I think it's going to be Lowry on FanDuel. Probably more of a cash guy at that price tag. I don't know how much upside he has really, but yeah, probably just Lowry for 6-4.
What about what's his face? Malachi Flynn, Chris. He's had some good games here. Obviously Lowry's in, but Van Fleet is out. You think there's any chance for flashes of his upside here?
No, I mean he's 4.8K on FanDuel, 4K on DK. Maybe on DK, I guess I don't mind that, but I mean, keep saying it. We're loaded with value at the guard position. We have Kyrie out, we have Luka out, so that's a lot bigger than Van Vliet out.
Okay. Let's see. VN Jones says, never thought I'd hear 7-1 too expensive for Lowry, especially from a Canadian.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I just don't know what they're doing. Are they tanking? Are they trying to win? It's hard to play them. And like I said, we have a ton of value at point guard.
Yeah, Nick Nurse has been difficult to read this year. Don't know what he's doing. Denver side, we got Monte Morris, Will Barton both out, Porter Jr., probable projected starters, Facundo, Dozier, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., and the Joker. Who do you like here, Chris, on Denver?
Yeah, so it's just going to be the Joker here if I am playing someone. We had Campazzo obviously have the big game last time out, but I keep saying it. We have a ton of value at point guard, so we don't really need that today. Jokic, if you have the money to spend up for him, I'm fine with it. On FanDuel, Jokic is he's 10-9 on FanDuel, 10-9 on DK as well. So I don't mind him on either site. It's probably a decision between him and Cat. Like I said, I kind of prefer Cat on FanDuel. DraftKings, I think it's a 2v2, which kind of depends on who the Nets start. So I don't know. I'm good with Jokic as a spend up, but he's not I don't think he's in a smash spot here. But I mean, he smashes every matchup, so maybe he is.
Okay. Let's see. Jaden here. What's up? He says Curry or Cat in cash games on DK. Hard decision for him.
Curry, but I think you can get both.
Okay. Do you think we'll ever see a Kyle Lowry statue, Chris?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you think if he leaves, he'll still get it?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. And do you think Kawhi would get one?
Kawhi, no, you probably wouldn't get one. But I mean, how many arenas really have statues? Is that a thing that most arenas do, or is it just like a once in a franchise lifetime thing?
Yeah, I think it's more like that, but they usually do like retired jerseys, things like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Numbers.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if he deserves a statue. I mean, it's not like, I don't know. He's represented the franchise well, so maybe he does, but I don't know. I don't know exactly how the statue thing works.
The statue would just signify how small time Canadian basketball is. I mean, he's definitely a solid piece. Done a lot for the city for sure, but I don't think it would happen in any other city, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, definitely up for debate. Not against it. Let's go over 3 pillars, Chris, of the day. 3 key plays. So overall play, value play, tournament play. On the statue thing, Via Jones says, if a WNBA player can get a statue, Lowry sure as hell deserves one. I didn't know that was a thing either. I'm not up to date with my statues. But yeah, overall play, Chris, cash, tournaments, safest play today in DFS on FanDuel. Who's your guy?
It's going to be Kevin Durant.
Okay, and then value play on FanDuel. Who do you have?
Value play on FanDuel, a little more difficult. If Mike James starts, I would go with Mike James, but we just don't know yet. Kevin Porter Jr. is 5'6", so I'll probably go with that.
Okay, and then tournament play, Chris, of the day. Who do you have?
Tournament play, I like Brogdon a lot when we went over him, so I'll go with Malcolm Brogdon here.
Okay, and then look at this. I can just put Kevin today. I don't even need KD. Both Kevins, you got them in. DK, overall play there. Who do you have?
I have Durant once again here.
And then value, who do you have?
So we have more value here on DK. We have cheaper guys as always. I'll go with Kent Bazemore for 3.9.
Okay, and then tournament play, who do you have?
Same thing, Malcolm Brogdon.
Okay, nice. Let's look over your cores on FanDuel. So you have Chef Curry, KD, Zingas, and Porter, Kevin Porter Jr. on Houston. Just a quick recap, Chris. Why do you like these guys so much today here on FanDuel?
Yeah, so Curry, great matchup. Good price tag for him. I think he's easy to get to. I put Brogdon as my tournament play because you can pivot off of Curry in tournaments, go down to Brogdon. I think he'll have a different build, so I don't mind that. Porzingis, no Luka. We got word about a minutes restriction possibility for KP, so I might remove him from my core later, but price tag here is way too cheap at 7.6, so I still don't mind him. I think they said that he's not going to be on a hard minutes restriction, whatever that means. And then KD, obviously, without Kyrie. KPJ without John Wall. So yeah, that's why I have these four guys. And then let's look at the first two. Just a 1v1 at point guard. Killian Hayes versus Mike James. If Mike James is starting, I'm going to go with Mike James. If Mike James is coming off the bench, I'm going to go with Killian Hayes. So it just really depends on that. The rest of this lineup is pretty straightforward, I think. Only kind of bad thing that I don't like is we don't have Jalen Brunson. But we do have Tim Hardaway Jr. We have Shamit, who's likely to play a lot of minutes here as well. So I don't mind this shooting guard combo. We have Curry at point guard. I like him a lot. These two small forwards who I locked. KP, who I locked. Isaiah Stewart without Plumlee, without Grant for 5'9", so I like him. And then we have Cat for 9'7", who I prefer over Jokic here on FanDuel for $1,200 less.
Okay. VN Jones asking what your definition of value is.
Just point per dollar. That's what I think of when I think of value, especially on FanDuel, where you don't really have these cheap guys who you can usually play on DraftKings. I kind of see what his point is, because he's probably thinking Kevin Porter Jr. isn't considered a value play, but I think on FanDuel I kind of consider point per dollar. DraftKings, I take price into account more.
Makes sense. Advanced level question there, Chris.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, DK, you got Chef here again. Brunson, no Luka over there. Bazemore, no Oubre. KD, no Irving. So I guess we kind of know why you like all of these guys. Do you want to just get into the lineups, or did I miss something here?
No, that's good. Yeah, we can look at the first two. It's a 2v2 here. So yeah, we have Brunson in both. Brunson here is easier to get to. Maybe it's a 3v3, actually, I'm not sure. But we have Brunson in both. Hardaway Jr. is actually just highlight them first, because I think it's a 3v3. Yeah, and then Hardaway Jr. and Joe Harris. So we have Brunson in both, KD in both, Hernan Gomez in both with no Adams. I like him a lot. Curry 10-3. Don't love the price tag, but it's a really good matchup here. DraftKings scoring obviously fits in better with 3-point bonus, and then Bazemore, I locked him. And then 3v3 here, TJ, Tyler Johnson, Tim Hardaway Jr., and Jokic versus Mike James, Joe Harris, and Cat. This one just depends on who starts at the point guard for the Nets. If they start Tyler Johnson, I'm going to go with the first side. If they start Mike James, I'm going to go with the second side. So I have to wait for that news before I make a decision here, just like FanDuel.
Okay. Let's circle back to the single game slate here for King. Let's see what we get. So yeah, this is the Warriors Minnesota game. Curry, Catman in the MVP. Looks like it's like 50-50. Let's open up the players card here. So yeah, slight favoring to Curry here, 60-40, and then same thing for the star. So it's kind of like a coin toss between those two. That is also what the projections say. Pro slot, we got Wiggins as the favorite, Bazemore behind him, and then a few other guys not as high up there. So this is probably, like, I can't imagine anyone else here outscoring Cat or Curry. So I think it's wise to keep both of those in either your MVP or star slot. For the pro, though, could you see anyone having a big game here, Chris? Could you see anyone outscoring Cat or Curry?
No, I couldn't. I mean, maybe Draymond if he has like a 20 assist game once again, but outside of that, maybe Ant as well. But I don't know. He's probably expensive. Maybe D'Lo.
D'Lo.
He's probably expensive here as well on this slate. So I think you got to go with the two studs. I like the first lineup a lot, actually. It gives you Draymond. It gives you Bazemore as well and Looney. So all of those guys are going to start. Looney's obviously the value guy. So I like the first lineup here a lot.
Yeah, and I mean, a guy like, I think, Ant-Man or a guy like D'Lo, those guys can always have ceiling games, I feel like. So they are kind of a little bit low here. Like, there's not too many. I mean, I don't think there's any D'Lo here. There's only 2 lineups with Ant-Man. So I guess if you wanted to get different, maybe play one of those guys at the pro, hope for a ceiling game. But other than that, like you said, Draymond maybe at the star as well. But I just, in my eyes, I feel like an Ant-Man or a D'Lo ceiling game would be more likely than a Green one here. Green scoring out either Cat or Steph.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably more expensive here. D'Lo and Ant. Let's see. They're probably Draymond's price. I don't know. 1,300, 1,350 for Edwards, 1,250 for D'Lo. So yeah, they're pretty similar to Draymond. I mean, these guys could beat Draymond, so I don't mind that in tournaments.
Yeah, let's see what we get here. Who's the other guy that you definitely would want here? I mean, because we're getting Kent Bazemore here as well, right? Kevon Looney. Is there a guy that we're really fading here at util?
No, I mean this is the exact same lineup that we had before. It's just we have D'Lo instead of Draymond.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's that. Do you want to go over any others or not today?
It doesn't matter.
Let's see. Vian Jones says Chris has no love for Giannis tonight. I may have to come off him. Please elaborate on why. Are you factoring the blowout potential?
Yeah, just blowout potential. We have other studs here who I think are in better spots, like KD, who's a lock, Curry, fighting for playoff position, tight spread there. Cat as a run back if you're playing Curry. I like him a lot. Jokic as well. I prefer him over Giannis. So yeah, it's mostly the blowout. Like, I think if you're playing tournaments, you can play Giannis for sure. He's going to be the lowest owned stud, I would guess. And he has a ton of upside against Houston if they can keep it close. So if you're playing tournaments, I don't mind him.
Okay. Let's do our wrap up here, housekeeping. So first up, our optimizer, our website, dfscrunch.com. Link is also in the description. So if you're a new member, you want to try out our optimizer that we've been using throughout the show here. Every day we use it. Our projections, ownership projections. I mean, solid stuff here. Great product. If you want to try it out completely free, go to the site, set up your account, and then, like I said, all new members will get a free 3-day trial automatically applied. So won't be charged until after 72 hours from the moment you sign up. So you're more than welcome to manage your account, cancel it yourself if you would like. It's in the sidebar here. Hover over this profile icon thingy, click Account Center, and then that is how you can cancel it all on your own. So I do encourage everyone, if you haven't tried it out, just try it out, even if you have no intent on paying. Just try it out for 3 days for free, cancel after, just so you know what we're about. And then if you're ever interested again in the future, you can get it again, or if you like it how it is, you can just stay with us. It's a solid product. We have FanDuel, we have DraftKings, we have all the different slates for all the different main sports. I think today we just have, baseball started already. Is the main slate coming up, or was that the main slate already?
No, main slate hasn't started.
So we got that, we got NHL, we got basketball today. Not sure what else we have today. We also have EuroLeague on DraftKings, so that's earlier on, so that already started, I think. We got esports, we got a lot of stuff. So check it out. 3 days for free during your trial. You don't need a special link. You don't need a coupon code. The trial is automatically applied if you're a new member while you create your account. And then you also get access to this Discord, which is awesome. It's a lot of value here just in the Discord. You get to, I guess, connect with all the crunchers, talk strategy, talk DFS, talk sports, talk stonks, talk off topic. There's a lot of stuff here. So the Discord is also a lot of value. So that's also, you get access to everything during the trial. So no limitations. So that's out of the way. Other thing is, if you guys enjoyed the content today, be sure to hit the thumbs up. Helps us a lot. So we appreciate that a lot. And then also make sure you're subscribed with the bell button and the all text selected. That way you will be up to date with all of our crunch time shows. We do them every day, but that just makes it a bit easier to find them. They'll show up at the front of your YouTube. And then I think if you have your email set up, if you want, you can always unsubscribe from it, but you can get email notifications as well when we go live. So it's always 2.5 hours before the main slate, but the main slate time does occasionally change, but usually not. But sometimes it does, maybe once or twice every other week or every week. I don't know how it works, but sometimes it's a different time. So that just makes it a bit easier to come out here and hang out. So the show's always going to be free, so definitely subscribe as well. I think that's it. Hasty here says, thanks boys, big shout out to Dinda for sharing all that cool basketball history. Really appreciate getting to see that stuff. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm with you. Also shout out to VN Jones for the view, to Sean for the takedown, all the other crunchers for the success posts as well. Anything we're missing? I think, do we have a birthday today? John Carter's birthday?
Oh yeah, John Cotter's birthday. So happy birthday to John Cotter.
Yeah. So we got that. I think that's all the shout outs for today. Haven't heard from Ghost actually. He had his 6th baby girl like 2 days ago or something. So he's been MIA since then. He's probably going to be super, super busy for a while with all 6 of his children. So that's absolutely insane. But yeah, I think that's it, Chris. Anything else from you for today?
No, I think that's it. I think we're good. Hopefully everyone has a good day, good night, and a good slate.
Yep. Yeah. Well, other thing is, so we'll be in the Discord as well, actually. So if you have more questions, come hang out there. So yeah, we'll be in the Discord, like Chris said. Good luck today, guys, and see you all tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in.